So Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. I want to just end off inshallah with a few words about our hearts. What's heart in Arabic again? Qalb. And what are hearts? Qulub. Therefore in the dua this morning, what do we say? Ya muqallibal qulub. Oh, the muqallib of the qulub. Oh, the turner, the changer of al-qulub of the hearts. Of the hearts. So I want to end off with that, insha'Allah ta'ala. I want you just to quickly take a moment, just read something about the hearts, inshallah. Just read something about the hearts, inshallah. This is the physical heart. The physical heart is a small organ. The physical heart. And the physical heart beats on average 72 times a minute, 2.5 billion times during your life. If it's going to stop, your life is going to end. So your heart is the center of your life. And if the heart stops, then your life stops. But in Islam we have something called the spiritual heart. Spiritual heart. And when you think of heart, like your heart, what do you associate? Not obviously cholesterol and angina. I'm talking about your emotional heart. Okay, you can feel pain. What else can you feel in your heart? Love. What else? Give me other words. Attachment, happiness. More words. Contentment, empathy, sympathy. So when you think of heart, you think of certain kind of words. Closeness, hopes, enjoyment, pleasure. These kind of emotions, these sort of feelings. And the Quran speaks about heart quite a bit. How many times did we say? Was it 300 and how much was it? I can't remember. How many times did I say the Quran mentions heart? What was it? 132 times. And was the Quran speaking about your physical heart there? I'm not likely speaking about your physical, speaking about your emotional, your spiritual heart, your qalb. So when it comes to your heart, let's first look at the word qalb. Qalb from a verb qalaba, like fa'ala qalaba. And qalaba means to turn. The muqallib is the one who turns, the turner. And qalb comes from the turn. So why do you think your heart is linked to turning? Why turning? So the heart tends to change. And also you can think of the heart almost like it can change its gaze. So the heart can gaze somewhere and the heart can become attached to something. Or it can become detached and move somewhere else and become attached. So the heart is the thing that can move, the qalb. So this is our heart. And one thing I think maybe that's not sometimes always spoken enough about when it comes to our religion, like Islam and so on, is that there's actually a very strong emotional side to Islam. There's a side that is linked to your feelings. For example, like if our heart is unmoved, but we are going through the motions of prayer, of worship, of service, but inside we're unmoved, there's something missing. Or even worse, if we are like through our mouths saying, Ya Allah, we love you, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we are attached to you, you are dear to us and our own parents, but our hearts are attached to something else, to our business or to our bank account or to our own ego or to our car or to some lust. If our heart's attached to something else that is low, yet we professing to have a high love, there's a problem. So all of our hearts, we have sometimes difficulties in our hearts. That this longing, this love, this attachment is often not directed to the right spaces. Because where should the heart ultimately be attached to? To Allah. To Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So ultimately the heart must be attached to Allah and all things connected to Allah. Rasulullah, Baytullah, Kitabullah, all the things connected to Allah, that should be where our heart should be. Because if something is linked to Allah, it's beautiful. Because Allah is the most beautiful. So that's the objective. So I think one of the difficulties we have is where's our hearts? We have the form, but is the real substance inside? And if we don't fix the substance, we can do the forms, but it's actually an empty shell. But if you fix the heart, what happens? The heart is the king. If you fix the heart is the king, and that heart will radiate through all of the limbs. So one objective that we have, and probably one of the most important objectives in this class, is we have to look at the development of our hearts. We have to look at where is our hearts at. And a good question maybe for you and I to ask ourselves today is where is my heart attached to? Because if you like, no doubt your heart is attached somewhere. No doubt your heart is attached to something or someone. No doubt. People don't have no attachment. People have some attachment. It's normally the thing you do in your free time. It's normally the thing that you like to speak about. It's normally the thing that you think about all the time. That's normally where your heart's at. And often for some people it might be another spouse, or legal or illegal, another discussion. Obviously the one's good and the one's bad. It might be your house, because you must do it again up. It's been 2 or 3 years. Time for a makeover. Because some people's hearts are attached to their house. Like they have some people's hearts are attached to their career. My job is close to my heart. I think about it. I speak about it. I make dhikr of it all the time. I make dhikr of my company all the time. Why? Because I make dhikr of the company? Because it's inside here. All the time. Thinking, talking, planning. Can't sleep at night. What's the next move? Next project? It's like soaked into it. Sometimes our hearts are attached to our business and making wealth. Where's the next deal? Next client? Those are all actually the wrong things to be attached to. Those are all actually things of this dunya. And all of those things don't matter before Allah. Doesn't matter before Allah. So I want to say and end off and say on the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because he sallallahu alaihi wasallam was given al-hikmah. He's given wisdom in his words. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "Ala wa inna fil jasadi mudghah." And you should see lots of hals there and nakira and ma'rifah popping up at you there. Inshallah. Allah. Allah is like for grabbing your attention. Like behold. Inna wa inna fil jasadi, verily in the jasad, in the body there is a mudghah. A mudghah means a piece of flesh. Small piece of flesh. إذا صلحت فعلت. فعلت, صلحت, you with me? فعل, فعلوا, فعلت. صلح, صلحوا, صلحت. Because you can see the mudghah. Okay, you don't know it yet, but the mudghah is a female thing. إذا صلحت, if this piece of flesh becomes whole and sound and salih, if this piece of flesh is in a good state, صلح الجسد كله. What becomes sound? The jasad, the being, becomes sound. Kulluhu, all of it. The physical being becomes sound. The emotional being becomes sound. The spiritual being becomes sound. The thinking being becomes sound. If your heart becomes sound, all of you become sound. وَإِذَا فَسَدَتْ, and if it becomes corrupted, فَسَدَ الْجَسَدُ كُلُّ, if it becomes corrupted, the heart becomes corrupted. And how does it become corrupted? It becomes corrupted by being attached to the wrong thing. Because when it's attached to the wrong thing, it will enter into a dark space. And when it enters into a dark space, it becomes hard and covered. And when it becomes hard and covered, when nur comes, the heart can't feel it. So you will listen to a talk and the heart feels nothing. You will listen to Quran and the heart will feel nothing. You will listen to the words of the Prophet ﷺ and will feel nothing, because the heart has become fasadat. It has become corrupted. It has become polluted, it has become covered, it's become hardened. And that's not a good state to be in. And all of us to some degree suffer from these states. And it's a crisis for us actually. It's a crisis when we are unmoved by Allah. It's a deep crisis. It's a deep crisis where we are unmoved by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's a deep crisis when we are unmoved by Kitabullah. It's almost like someone traveling all the way here and seeing Baytullah and saying what? I feel nothing. I'm going to have some Baskin Robbins rather. Where's the heart attached? When you see the house of Allah, it should move your heart. It should move your heart. The Prophet ﷺ says, Ala wa hiya al-qalb. Nay, behold, it is what is this mudgha, what is this piece of flesh? It is the heart. And if we don't reflect on our hearts, we are going to go through the motions attached to the wrong thing. And when we come before Allah on the day of Qiyamah, Allah is going to ask us, where is your heart? Where has this qalb been your entire life? And it's difficult, I know it's difficult, because the distractions are many. And the attachments and the attractions and the distractions are many. But as Muslims, we have to keep our eye on the goal. And more importantly, we have to keep our heart on the goal. The goal is Allah. The goal is Allah. The goal is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's our goal. That's where our heart should be. And if it's not there, we should worry and we should try to turn our hearts towards it. And turning your heart is what? Qalb. You know what happens to qalb? You turn there and then turns back again. You turn there and turns back. That's what qalb means. Qalb means always turning. Always turning. So inshallah, today's reflection, and it's an important question because you don't want to meet Allah. Can you imagine meeting Allah and your heart's attached to your business? You thought about it day and night. All you could read was company reports and sales reports. That's the only reading we did. Imagine that. And Allah said, I gave you a life. I gave you time. I gave you energy. I gave you wealth. Where did you put your heart? Don't put your heart in the wrong place. Because there are so many people whose hearts, they are really grey. You know, when you become grey, you must know that end is near. But they're grey, but their hearts are still in the wrong place. Still in the wrong place. Your heart can't be attached to, especially the young people, so serious. It's like a disease. Every free moment, series. We're doing this weekend, series. Because now it's not like TV anymore, and TV must wait till the schedule program. And they have the series, they have like a whole year, 2-3 years of TV. Just press play. And every free moment, series, movies. You know what's doing it to your heart? All of those images, all of those sounds are pulling your heart. They are drawing your heart, they are seducing your heart. Be careful. This heart has gateways. We must have healthy gateways to our hearts, inshallah. And then we have true beauty in our lives. True contentment, true clarity, true understanding. But we have to start with our hearts, inshallah. So for a few moments every day, inshallah, take some moments just to do a simple thing. All you do is you just sit still for a few moments, very still. And all you do is you just look at your heart and you focus your heart towards Allah. That's all you do. You focus your heart towards Allah and let your heart talk to Allah. And if you don't know what to say, then just say La ilaha illallah with your heart, or Subhanallah, or Ya Allah, or Ya Latif, or something. But for a few moments, even 3 or 4, especially after make salah, just have the discipline to sit for a few moments quietly. No tongue. Just look into your heart and just let your heart for a few moments, 1, 2, 3 minutes, just connect to Allah. With the dua, Ya Allah, take my heart and pull it towards you. That's called the muqarrabun. Take my heart, Ya Allah, and pull it towards you and make my heart close to you. Because Allah, I'm struggling. But you, Allah, you have all power. You can change my heart. Because you are muqallib al-qulub. Every day, inshallah, a few moments. Have the discipline. We have to take account of ourselves. May Allah guide our hearts. May Allah guide our hearts towards Him. May Allah free our hearts from all of these false attachments. May Allah free our hearts from this dunya. The dunya must never ever be in your heart. May Allah free our hearts from shahwa, lower base desires. And may Allah guide our hearts towards Him. May Allah make the most beloved to us Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Last important notice before I forget. Next week there is a nikah here, and there's nikah at St. Athens Road, and there's nikah at Taranga Road. So I don't know where class E is going to be next week, but I will let you know inshallah via WhatsApp or email. So we're still trying to find a venue for next week inshallah, because your first year class won't be here. The second year and Dawrah will be here inshallah, but first year we have to move the class because the nikah is here, so we can't be at the same time. So we have to move the class. So we will let you know in the week inshallah, as soon as we confirm a venue, where it will be inshallah. So please don't come here next week. Check your WhatsApp, check your email, contact the administrator. You also have handbooks now. So in the handbooks are all the details inshallah. Contact our administrator. We will let you know where it is. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.